Alright, what's up guys? My name's Eric. In today's video I wanted to talk about the alter ego method. And this is what I use to change my physique, but not only my physique, but ultimately leveling up all areas of my life. Physically, mentally, spiritually. And I know it's a little deep, it's a little woo-woo-y. It's not meant to be taken as objective advice, okay? This is kind of like psychology, philosophy, my philosophy, and then I kind of talk about my mindset of what it took to build a lean and aesthetic physique, or just build muscle in general, right? Now, the takeaway in this video is I hope that you can implement what I say in this video. Don't take it as sage advice, obviously. You want to take everything, be skeptical. I get it. I am skeptical, so obviously I want my audience to do the same, critical thinkers. But also take it with a grain of salt, but also be willing to implement. Be open-minded about what you're going to hear about, okay? Don't just automatically go into defense mode. And I know that's what I used to do, and that's why I stayed stuck for years, okay? So with the alter ego method, kind of like just different personality, different way of thinking, different way of life, right? That's your alter ego. It's not like some kind of disorder or maybe borderline schizophrenic. I don't know. But maybe I'm not even accurate at all. But anyways, just a brief overview. You have two versions of yourself, okay? You have your current version, which is why you clicked on this video and you want to change, or you're thinking about what could this video be about? Or you're just unsatisfied with yourself, right? There's more potential in you that you could reach. This is your current, or at least in my case, this was my old self, right? And then this is my ideal self. Obviously, I'm personifying it. There's nothing wrong with these two people at all. It's just the fact that I knew I could have done better. I knew there was more, but I was holding myself back. Right? I kept letting life happen to me. So really quickly, Version A, what did he embody? He played a lot of League of Legends. He played a lot of video games. And video game addiction is a real thing. Obviously, it's not as bad as an actual addiction, like a drug addiction. But it's just there's nothing wrong with video games either. It's just the fact that I played so much of it to cope, to pass the time, to kind of cover up for my shortcomings, my social awkwardness. I was too scared to talk to people, talk to girls. That's why I stayed stuck, socially stunted for years, because I would play this game, and it occupied a lot of my time, and I developed antisocial behaviors, right? 2, I was a maladaptive daydreamer. What does that mean? So basically, I would daydream about who I could be, but I never actually went ahead and did it, because if you have opportunity and you're privileged and you're able-bodied and you're able to do and get the stuff that you daydream about. Because think about it, if you can daydream about it, you can make it happen into a reality. Because chances are you've thought about something, you've wanted to do it, and you actually did it, but then now I don't know, the adult version of you is holding you back because there's so much ego behind it. There's so much ego and there's so much stubbornness, and that's why in my opinion, with older adults, even my parents, they stay stuck in their old ways, right? Old habits die hard. You have inconsistent daily habits, so I'm pretty sure you already know this one. But I like to live by the quote, how you do one thing is how you do everything. Now, obviously, it's not everything, but it is pretty much a reflection of who you are. Do you even make your bed in the morning? Do you even wash the dishes? When the trash can is full, do you take it out? Or do you let someone else, your roommate? Or in general, are you just a dirty person? So a dirty person, on the outside, imagine, on the inside, too, you know? Or it's just, a combination of those factors. If you can kind of reflect on your life and see, this is, I go to sleep late, no wonder my life feels kind of chaotic because I wake up late, I get ready for work last minute, things like that. Obviously, I'm kind of just spitting off the top of my head right now. I used to have an all-or-nothing mentality, which meant that if I couldn't get it done this certain way, or if I didn't get it done in the morning, then that means my whole day is gone. It's lost. So I would rather just brain rot, doom scroll, and play League of Legends all day. And that's what happened a lot, just to kind of soothe with the pain or the fact that I didn't do something on time. But the thing is, you don't have to do something on time. You could just do it later, right? I had this stupid all-or-nothing mentality. For example, imagine if you just finished doing laundry, right? And then you put it in the dryer, and you're trying to do it all in one trip. And then let's say, it's a stupid comparison, but let's say you pick up all of those clothes in your hand and then you drop one article of clothing. What are you gonna do? Just like drop the whole entire thing? Drop the whole entire thing and then just like say, oh fuck it, I gotta start over again. Right? It's stupid. It's kind of like the same way. Like when you say you didn't hit the gym in the morning, now you feel like shit. Just hit the gym at night, right? Or just try to fit some sort of time, 10 to 20 minutes, instead of the gym, do it and do push-ups in your room, something like that, right? We all come up with these ways to hold ourselves back. And then I often stayed in my comfort zone. And, you know, it held me back a lot. I'd say it wasted a lot of years, personally, but that you live and you learn, right? I gotta let it go now. I used to be like so nostalgic. I used to regret so much. I used to be like, oh, this and that. Why me? Why me? But the thing is, like, the past is already the past. You move on. Like, man the fuck up. In that sense, like, right? The past has already happened. Own up to what you've done. Maybe you just didn't know any better, right? I didn't have anybody to guide me. I didn't have role models. So I often stay in my comfort zone because I didn't see people around me be different, so to speak. Alright, so version B, what's different? What's different about me? What was the ideal self? What did I want to be deep down inside? Like deep down, I was pretty unsatisfied with life and how I was living it because I was wasted. I knew I was grateful. I learned to be grateful, like the fact that I was even born, the fact that I was born. I won the socio-economical, geographical lottery. Oh my gosh, sorry, I'm not a historical economic expert, but like that term, what's it called? The socio-geographical political lottery. Like I'm grateful, okay? I'm well off. I'm not like somewhere in, you know what I mean, like a third world country. Like I have opportunity. So the ideal self, he had a growth. Excuse me, my gosh, I'm coughing a lot. He had a growth-oriented mindset. So what that means is, you know, if you guys watch the anime Solo Leveling, Sun Jin-woo, he started at level 1. Now granted, there was like a bug or part of the system where it was meant for him to level up, but still, like he worked his way through grit and determination that, you know, with going through trials and tribulations, if you stick with it long enough, you can become him, right? In some sort. Like, it's not, like, guaranteed. Like, hard work doesn't guarantee success, but failure is guaranteed when you don't work towards anything. So, just know that. He doesn't hold himself to one identity. So, a big one for, I would say, most Asian households is, like, your parents push you to do good academically, right? To get into a good college, get a good stable career, because they want stability. Because they came from, like, with my parents, they're Vietnamese, they were boat people, so they came from a war-torn country, or at least part of that, like a part of the South, right? And then they just want the best for us. They want us to be stable, have a happy, stable life. But the thing is, like, that creates a problem within the child, which is, like, they always, like, they put pride in this identity of academics. And then they realize this doesn't really translate to real life and jobs. Like, you still got to work on your social skills. You still got to work on, like, your dating life or whatever, right? You got to be a jack of all, you got to, like, master multiple things instead of putting all your eggs in one basket, in this case, right? He realized that most people don't give a shit about him. So, I think the turning point, part of my journey, when I was a senior in high school, I moved to a completely new high school. So my community was stripped. We moved all the way down to Orange County, things like that. I live in California. But the thing is, I realized, like, most people don't give a shit about you. It's all about proximity, right? So I realized, like, you know, just really put your energy into the people that really care about you, and you'll know if people who are your friends. You gotta use discernment, right? You gotta use critical thinking. You gotta actually use your brain for this. Like, not everyone's gonna be your friend in this life. And then daily inputs of consistency. So no matter how ugly, people think consistency, again, the all or nothing mentality, it needs to be perfect, perfect, perfect. But what it really means is some days you're just gonna feel like shit. Like, no matter what. Like, that. The thing is, you just have to learn how to push through. You have to train that muscle in your brain to actually push through hard stuff, get a little uncomfortable, and get through it, because that's just life. That's training you for life in general. You're not training for a better physique. You're not training for mental toughness, these cold showers. It's actually training you for life, because life is a marathon, right? And if you're lucky enough, you get to live at least 80 years of your life. he's an optimistic nihilist. So what that means is, I'm agnostic, by the way. I don't want to get into the religion stuff, but like, there's two ways to look at life. Nothing really matters, or nothing really matters. And I choose to be in this. That's why I call it optimistic nihilist, because you could be apathetic, you could not care about life, but that's such a shame, right? Why would anyone want to be around that type of person? I mean, so just like not take things too seriously. Like, first get it, like, make it deep to realize that it isn't that deep at all. And then he has the mental endurance that comes from a deeper reasoning. So, for example, the difference between these two people, right, other than the fact, like, there have been some physical changes, is the fact that he was insecure, he didn't like the way he looked, he felt, he was skinny, so he didn't want to take his shirt off, he felt that, he felt invisible because he was a Vietnamese American, yada yada yada. But the thing is, he had the endurance. He didn't give up. The path, the hero's journey of what it took to get from this person to this person is the fact that he had grit, determination, and he had a vision. He had a strong vision on who he wanted to become, right? If you watch My Hero Academia, Midoriya, he wanted to be a hero. I'm sorry if that's not his name, but he wanted to be a hero. He had people, strong role models around him, and even if you don't have strong role models like me, you work your way up into it. If your vision is strong enough, if your big why, just remember, it could be something that pushes you, an external reason, your body, or you feel like your life is chaotic, and you feel like you want to inspire others. Like, the deeper reasoning has to be strong enough to move you. That's why you don't need the motivation. Motivation fades. You need the discipline, and you need the vision. Like, people say discipline, but what you really need is a strong why, like a vision. Like, what's your X factor? What makes you tick in this world, right? Hopefully for a good reason. And then at the end of the day, growth is not linear. Don't expect this to be a smooth sail up. It's not. It's like stocks. It's going to go up, it's going to go down, but eventually, it's like the S&P 500. Eventually, you stick to it, it's going to get better from here. And if it doesn't, then maybe it's some of it is uncontrollable, but most, or I guess half of the time too, that's something you can control. How you react is something you control. You can perceive your reality differently. If you're always thinking, oh, woe is me, or like, my life sucks, then yeah, that shit's gonna suck, because you're always in that frame of thinking of like looking for the negative things. So if you put on an optimistic lens, you accept the fact that life can suck, but then I choose to not perceive it as suck. I choose it as a challenge. I choose it as finding the truth of the world. I choose it as an adventure, rather than, oh, my life sucks, I have nothing going on in my life, I'm a loser. Then yeah, of course you're going to be a loser, because you keep thinking that way. Life is a process, and something you have to go through. Everyone has to go through it. Trials and tribulations. You just keep letting life happen to you, rather than focusing on what you can truly control, because you have a lot of self-limiting beliefs. That's the reason why you clicked on this video. I wouldn't have been making this video if I didn't know that I have friends, I have family, I have people that have self-limiting beliefs, right? Honestly, like, how this ties into the physique, if you didn't have self-limiting beliefs, you would have already gotten the physique in the first place. Some people think it's genetic. Some people think, like, life happened to them. Like, I'm a personal trainer, so when I train my women, like, with kids, like, I know it's possible, because I have postpartum clients, I have older clients who are in the best shape of their lives. They just chose to keep going. They chose to believe in themselves and have a vision and have a desire, because they understand fitness is a vehicle to self-improvement in all other areas of your life, right? Self-improvement is a category that people can go through to change something about themselves in order to induce positive outcomes. So, again, I'm an optimistic nihilist. I believe life is inherently meaningless, but that doesn't mean that what's the point? Like, you should just give up, right? I believe that you should take advantage of it, because we were given this life and we have this sandbox that it's like Minecraft, right? The world is yours. Obviously, you have to learn to play the rules of the game a little bit, but you got to do a little bit of dark psychology too. I call it dark psychology because, like, I feel like most people wouldn't talk about this. So that's why I see it that way. And then you can self-improve, you can fulfill, like, go for it. Go for your potential, experience what life has to offer. For me, I want to be great, I want to take care of the people that I love, and I want to find the truth of the world, of life, and just kind of experience it for what it is. And, this is my evolution, quick, briefly. And these were like, I'm a completely different person, like from like a few years ago, 5 years ago. Graduated, I have a good physique. I'm working towards my dream physique, my ideal physique. You know, no one's gonna save you. And don't daydream about the life that you want. The fact that you're daydreaming about it means that you can envision it, which means it's tangible, which means you can, if your brain can perceive it, then you can probably achieve it. It just requires a lot of trials and tribulation, pain. It's like equivalent exchange, right? If you watch Full Metal Alchemist, not to that extreme, but like you have to put in effort, you have to put in pain, a little bit of like go through hardship, suffering, right? Whatever that means to you. Suffering isn't like, oh, you're freaking getting tortured, but like you just have to go through it, right? The suffering of life. But if you knew that you could get anything that you wanted, would you go through the trials and tribulations? If you knew that going through that just to end up in your dream state, would you want that? Okay? It's not easy. I get it. You have a lot of social comparisons, especially nowadays on the internet. I promise you, like, most of it, or at least, it's not what you think. They put in the pain, or it's either AI or it's fake. So, I hope that the takeaway from this video is, like, you guys can actually apply, or take it with a grain of salt. I understand, like, it's okay to be skeptical. I'm skeptical too. But once I learned to be open-minded, you know, actually use my critical thinking cap, and then implement a little bit from each person or that person. But if you choose it by me, if you choose to take the information and implement it by me, I appreciate that. But I just want this video to help you guys out. I don't want this to be another video and then let you continue to float across life and then wonder why things haven't changed in the next few months or the next few years, right? Don't hold yourself back. Like, go and get it. Your mind is powerful enough to perceive. Your mind is powerful enough to make things your reality, especially your physique, okay? I'm going to be honest, this was me 2 years ago. This is me now. So it's not a fast, shortcut process. It's something you got to go through, learn to enjoy the journey, learn to be grateful for life. I'll see you guys next time.